The crimson lingers on your skin, on your gait, a permanent mark of who you are and where you have been. A stain that follows you through the depths and above the ground, where you think, erroneously, that they can't tell.
So we're rolling. So let's just talk. Does anybody have like a good stain story, first of all?
I do. I think about it all the time. On my first flight to China, like on this like 16-hour flight, I bled through like my like onto the seat, and I got up to use the bathroom. It was like okay, it was like, this is perfect, and like we were in the air, so I couldn't do anything about it.
Are you putting a pad with you?
I bled through the pad in my underwear and my pants onto the seat, and so it was like, okay.
Oh my gosh, so many times. So many. You know what? My prom, I wore a white pantsuit.
You did not. You did not on your prom.
No, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My PJ pants were white, and they were like my favorite pants ever. And I like woke up and I was like doing all my daily stuff, and my brother was the one who pointed it out, and he was like, "You're dying."
I was literally thinking that I'm dying. I even wrote a letter to my parents. I'm thinking that, okay, so I'm not going to, there's some diary and I want my parents to burn it off or something, never open it.
I was dancing at a club,
Okay.
and I had this super tight dress on, but I was just really happy that it had like little like polka dots on it, because it's like I was going crazy, and so was my period at the same time.
I was at a dinner party with my high school friend, and she had a white sofa very much like this one. It was like after dinner, there was a little bit of wine, and I thought, oh, like it's my third day, like it's over now, but I feel this sense of comfort. And so I just leaned back, and then I was like, oh, this feels so nice. And then I stood up, and it was like this huge stain all over the white couch. Oh, no. And then I tried to hide it, and then I was like thinking, when should I tell them?
Every time I leave a stain on the sheet is white, so it's very visible. And when I was at home, my grandma and my mom would say, "Look what you did." It's like they would treat it as a very dirty sign. It's more about the social reaction. It's what if I've been seen by others, and everyone would know I'm in my period.
What if people like think of, oh, this girl can't take care of her period, like she can't even like deal with them.
When my friends talk about, okay, so you have experienced periods, right? And I was like, no, I haven't experienced. I just denied it and I lied. They kept to tell me that you are a girl, you're a female, you're not a boy or not a man, and. Because at that time I assumed that I am a boy instead of a girl, and after I went to high school I found that I'm more like a non-binary between the two gender. And
my mom would say, I'd rather you not to take the painkiller because you are having formed an addiction and the pain is normal, so you have to live with it.
我觉得就是你有月经引起的感受是，我不知道，但是我会觉得它是有生理性的，就是你的激素分泌会跟平常不是很一样，然后所以你可能会有一些情绪上的波动，或者是身体上的不舒服。反正我是会有一点身体上的不舒服，然后我一般的解决方法是吃止痛药。
I'm on my period, I just get really like emotional for no reason sometimes. You know, I'll be like sitting in the middle of class and I'll be like, I'm about to cry for no reason. I guess there's not that much to it. It's just every time I get it, I'm kind of like,
So my word is unreliable. I have PCOS,
and it's partially genetic. First time I was diagnosed with it was in when I was 18 years old. So it's a symptom that 10% of women actually have it. You have some kind of hormonal imbalance that your cycle is just not regular. It's very unpredictable. But people seems to view period or irregular period simply from the perspective
That's an interesting
reproduction.
point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. So yeah.
My cramps, like, ugh, they're really terrible. I can like tell when they're about to start. I'm like really constipated. Like my stomach hurts so much. I just start taking ibuprofen, but like it goes weirdly all the way down to my heels. I feel like I need to walk it off, but then like all the pain goes to the bottom of my heel, and then I'm like in pain the entire time.
It's like someone is like knife like doing this. Sometimes I can't even move and then just cry. I can't do anything about it. People don't actually like. People think that I'm like just being dramatic when I describe it to them. When I like experience the pain and can't move. It's something different.
Some people will blow like what I'm saying off because they're like, oh, you're just overreacting right now, or like, oh, you're gonna be on your period soon, or whatever. I wish it weren't dismissed just because I was acting like hysterical.
Symptoms that happen that I'm not aware that there are symptoms. Like numbness in a leg.
Oh, right.
Or breakout in like somewhere unexpectedly. Yeah. And it changes as we age. I assume that's true. Experience.
Yeah, hot flashes.
Yeah,
oh no,
that?
that was the worst. That was the worst. I remember sitting in a class and I was wearing this leather jacket and I could literally feel the sweat dripping down my face. And I couldn't explain to anybody why I was completely drenched in sweat.
Why should we be talking about menopause?
Because it's a natural cycle, it's going to happen. It's a loss, right? It's a loss of a continuity in my life. There were, every month, I had certain kinds of
I actually feel a little sad sometimes thinking about how when I don't have it, I used to have the anxiety of it coming, but then when it's not coming, then it's almost like I'm missing something that was such a part of my life for so many years.
This part of my life that I am a reproductive being is behind me, and I can never go back.
I know.
Ultimately bad. Oh, it's getting stuck.
Is this kind of stick together and used together?
So no, this part sticks to the underwear.
Oh, okay.
In my school, what they did is they had a video. So I think it was elementary school was the first time, and then middle school they did it again, where they would split at the time, split boys and girls, and the boys would get the boy video and the girls would get the girl video. But then the following year, they swapped it. So they would split us again, but then the boys would get the girl video and the girls would get the boy video.
就6年级还是初一，就是当时可能气氛比较尴尬一点。
我觉得不应该分开。我也觉得不应该分开。但是当时我觉得可能小孩子也不太懂事，然后我觉得可能分开可能会显得尊重人一点。就是其实当时班里面的同学对这件事情都是非常的兴奋，我能记得，就是哦我的天。哎，你懂吗？5年级的小朋友可能处于就是某种萌芽期，然后就会对于这种事情很兴奋吧。
The boys that I knew were a little weirder about it, like you would mention like periods or something, and they'd get all like freaked out.
My daughter play with a pad, used as if it's a sticker.
That was my childhood experience
she
too.
just came to me, grab a lot, and just play with it.
Oh wow.
But she's still young, so I don't feel like there's a need to explain to her. Maybe later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I have a boy, so it's a kind of different thing. I think if you have a girl. Already at this stage, it's very gender between boys and girls, and that hasn't occurred to me that I feel the need to tell him yet.
What are some taboos or like some things that you feel like people still have these old ideas about the period?
I think some like old people believe that if you're like going to sweep the family graves, then if you're having a period, they don't allow you to do so.
For Taoist temples, female in that period are not allowed to enter.
Some people recently say the rule was first made to protect women because women are weak, during the menstruation, and before the temples would be very far away in the mountains.
Book about it was about sex trafficking in Nepal. When young girls, when they're on their period, they cannot see men. They cannot like go to school. They need to be like they need to be in another house for like a week. It's just like a violation of just some basic human rights, I think.
One of the consequences of this sort of like Garden of Eden thing was that women are like menstruate and they also have pain during childbirth. So that's sort of where the like sort of shame thing comes from, I think, in at least my community.
就是那种幸存者偏差那种感觉，因为我能够得到所有东西都是那些他们真正喜欢去表达的人才会让我知道，所以我的感受就是在我周围大家没有这样子。
Pads or tampons?
Pads. I use pads.
Pads.
I would prefer pads.
I use pads.
I also use pads.
I went back to pads also because I was hearing in the news like I think Tampax got sued.
Every time when I use tampon, I don't think I did it right. It would be out after 3 or 4 hours.
I've only seen tampon, but I never used tampon.
I feel like there's a learning curve, like compared to pads.
I'm afraid of that thing. I don't even know how to use it.
And tampon, I don't want to experience that pain anymore. I'm kind of traumatized from it already. It's actually, because one of my friends tried that as well, and she kind of described the feeling as being raped.
Oh, geez.
I think that's
quite invasive.
That's kind of true. It's like really hurt.
他之前跟我提到过一些用卫生棉条的事情，因为他说用卫生巾可能会就比较那种笼罩起来那个感觉，就不利于就是空气交流啊、多对流啊这个样子。但是我不是很喜欢卫生棉条，因为我觉得就是在使用过程中我会很担心这种卫生问题，就会很担心就比如说受感染啊或者等等这样一些问题，所以我一直不是很给他推荐这种东西。
But I prefer tampons just because I don't know. I feel like they're kind of easier to carry around sometimes, but I don't have that strong of a preference.
我其实之前一直会用卫生巾，然后可能最近会开始用一些棉条，但是用棉条我会怕，因为忘记取出来，然后就会心痛。但是两者其实对我来说，就目前还没有特别大的区别。
你了解这两个？
我听过，就可能，但是卫生巾可能听的比较多一点，棉条的话也有听过，但是。
你可以转过去看背后的。
这是棉条。
对，我们做的一个装饰。
哦。
这是导管式的棉条。
还有指推式的，反正就是推进去的方法不太一样，就是它把那个它不是柱状吗？然后你用手或者用导管推进你的阴道，它的方式不太一样。然后它这个紫色的东西是管儿。
这个我应该是见过，对，但是
它在里面，对。
但是对，因为棉条我就其实整体听到的就比较少。
I used to use. Well, actually, I used to use like right, like tampons they're good for like nosebleeds. Wow. So like.
They works.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's for the same purpose basically, but yeah.
那可能在中国感觉用卫生棉条的女性会少一些。
就可能我的女性朋友她们不会跟我去聊这些东西，然后她们可能也觉得没有必要跟我聊这些东西。我可能看到最多的可能还是从传统的电视广告上看到那些卫生巾的广告，苏菲那种。
但是传统有卫生巾的广
告。是吗？
你见过吗？我好像没有见过。
没有。
Is it because there's a Chinese belief system that if you insert something in that it's not normal or?
I think so. Like maybe like this action will let female discover more about their body, and I don't know. Maybe they don't want us to do so.
Yes. Tampons are the best.
Well, that's debatable.
No, but you know what? I always wish I totally regret that I hit menopause without having the cup. Because I hated the fact that I was making all of this waste every month. I hated the fact that I was putting bleached cotton up my vagina.
Neither. I use a menstrual cup. So yeah, you too? Hey. I was always like very iffy about like sitting in like my own blood for like a few hours and then like changing. For some reason, the cup was like a little bit more digestible. Yeah. So you wash it or like boil it, like it's like kind of cleaned. Yeah.
Partially like because of the environment, finding out about how long a pad will last, and then finding out about like all the products and like materials that are in pads, like titanium oxide stuff. It was kind of panicking, but also I like just how easy it is. Like once you get used to it, you don't have to like worry about carrying anything with you.
And like there is like a weird like almost like suction, like feeling to it.
I feel like my cramps are a lot better. Like,
Yes.
with the cup.
比如说，月经产品在家里是可以见到，是 visible 的吗？
当然是可以见到，我觉得我们家里人并没有把它当成羞耻的表现，但也不是把它当成一种骄傲的表现，他们就是一个非常正常的，就是跟普通的日常用品一样的一个待遇，就跟隐形眼镜啊一些洗漱用品啊，他们是放一起的。
我不知道它具体放在哪里，但是我会注意到每个月那么一段时间，可能我妈包里会多一包卫生巾，那我就知道就是最近就是特殊时期。但是因为家里人不会常讨论这个话题。
I have a vague memory of my childhood of like my mom in the bathroom being very like secretive, but I remember it kind of lingers there of that moment of like, oh, there's like toilet paper with blood on it. And not being like scared, just being confused because I didn't know anything at the time.
I don't think it's always visible, but I think it should be visible.
Because whenever I order Waimai for the pads, they will use like the black bag to cover that every time. I hate that.
Oh, I think my mother will bring me a small bag to put the pads in, but she never directly tell me that it is not a good thing.
Bought pads and tampons for those who need it when it's necessary. I got maybe a look and I was like, why are you looking at me like that?
一般来讲的话，我女朋友她一般都是用卫生巾，她经常忘记买卫生巾等等的，还每次都我去给她买这样。
你知道她最喜欢什么牌子？
保洁的。我觉得每次我每次她就来月经的时候，我都会给她就 track dates。我现在手机上面还有她的这个period 这个就是时间呐，如何的上一次时间。Yeah, pretty convenient actually.
我可能最多的焦虑就来自于，我怎么又要花钱买卫生巾？我是一个非常不喜欢为卫生巾花钱的人。我每次当要买卫生巾的时候，觉得我要骂人了，为什么要我自己花钱啊？
And so it's like frustrating to like find things that actually like work and that are like cheap and
affordable. Right. So on campus, you get free condoms here? You get free pads too?
No free pads, only free condoms.
So how do you feel about that?
Like, 'cause it's a necessity for people, and sometimes when the period will come, it cannot be predicted. So, they should provide it.
If we are gonna make it free for all the students, faculty, and staff on campus, then how about the people who are outside of school? Like, should we make it free? Aren't we like supposed to make it free to all the women or those who menstruate?
就我之前确实也听到一个说法，就是如果月经是一个男性生物、雄性生物来的东西，我觉得可能就完全早就免费了。但是我也不知道这个说法的真伪，但是我确实听说过这种说法。
Like, are there certain things you should or should not eat, or what that you should do during that time? Some practices?
I would say less cold and icy thing.
I feel like in China, parents will tell you that, especially your mother would tell you that during a period you shouldn't like eat anything cold, like even use like cold water. Just like when you're using the tap water, even just like use warm water all the time.
Warm stuff, no cold stuff.
Warm stuff, okay.
Red meat. right? Eat
Red
red
meat is
meat.
good, actually good.
Yeah, no watermelon, I guess, during
Yeah.
period.
Oh.
Brown sugar.
Oh, right.
Brown sugar.
I've never heard of that.
哦，我是只听说过，就是月经期应该喝，就是要什么喝红糖水，什么这是最经常听到的。
And also ginger tea would help. I would do this and this. It's a Chinese medicine thing. I think it's helpful. I would read and watch something that's very, very pleasant, or like those kind of romantic love story, because like you say you feel like being a girl again. But that's also helped me, and maybe some chocolate and hot cocoa.
Quite a few years ago during COVID, my mom told me that my little sister had her first period, so she reminded me to be like extra kind to her. I feel like if you wanna normalize this issue, I think they should not be like kept in secret.
I don't understand why we don't think of that as a positive thing.
What?
Right?
Okay.
Like, why is this not? Why don't we say you are really in touch with yourself? Everybody goes through sort of these cycles, right? Men do too. You're in touch with the cycles of life. And the cycles of life say that some days are better, some days are worse, that you're in touch with your body. And your body is shifting and changing every month. And why don't we validate this? Look, why would we fight against it? Why don't we honor it? Your body just told you, I need this. I need more sleep.
Yeah.
So sleep more.
I like your positive attitude towards it. You're like actually kind of making you feel more like the goddess that you deserve to be.
I'm totally a goddess.
Right? And that's what we should be feeling with this. We're not like, we shouldn't be shaming it. We shouldn't be thinking like it's a dirty thing. Because a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah,
So,
no, I get that. But I mean, we're the majority in the world, population-wise, and every one of us is experiencing it. And so why are we being shamed by it?
Period. Menstruation. 姨妈，生理期。月经。来例假啦。My cycle. Menstruation. Period. Did somebody say blood? Blue, 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 blue. Blood. 好朋友。飘踢。被金鱼咬了。Blood. 流血啦。月经。来月经了。Are you bleeding? Oh, yes. Anything else? Anything else? Come on, one last one.
Maybe as a group. Yeah.
Together.
As a
Okay,
group
1, 2,
together.
3. Wait, what are we saying? Oh! Oh, the stain. What? No? I don't know. Like the stain. As a group. Or I don't know. Stain. Okay. Period. Okay, let's all just do period first, okay? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, go. Menstruation! Okay, 月经. 月经. Okay, go. 月经! Is that good?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Looks good. Everyone's in the shot.